What's good, Roughnecks fans, and welcome back to the Rough 'em Up podcast. I'm your host, Cullen Watkins. Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. Super hyped, super excited. We got UFL training camp in literally just a few days, and we got kickoff in pretty much a month. You kidding me? This is coming up so quick, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And part of that is because of the event that I went to this past week, the very first Houston Roughnecks season ticket holder event. I had a blast there. I even met some of y'all who are probably watching this video. It was a blast, alright? So if you were not there, this is why I'm covering it. I'll be giving y'all videos, the rundown, even what inside scoops of what we can expect from the team. Because head coach Curtis Johnson and the VP of football operations for the UFL, Daryl Johnson, was there as well. So I'll be giving y'all what they said, giving y'all the rundown. And real quick, shout out to Pro Football Newsroom. My guy, the ref, I actually met him at this event. I'll try to post a picture, but shout out to him. Shout out to everything over there. Of course, I'm teaming up with them. I'm collabing with them. Pro Football Newsroom. Link will be in the description down below. Your only spot for spring football news. Really ever. You won't need any other spot for spring football news except Pro Football Newsroom. So again, shout out to them. Thank you so much. So this past week, it was a season ticket holder event for the Houston Roughnecks. As y'all know, I got my season tickets. Me, my girlfriend, and one of my good friends here in college, we decided to go. I was the only season ticket holder, but we were allowed to bring extra, so I brought those two with me. Who else would I bring, right? So we took the train to Rice. It was the Metro. It was sort of a long walk. I'm not a big fan of having to take the Metro and walking another 30 minutes to Rice Stadium. And it was a freezing day here in Houston when this was held. It was cold and cloudy and windy. So it was not a fun walk. And it was really the first time I saw Rice up close, Rice Stadium. I know a lot of y'all may be thinking, how is Rice compared to TDECU? Definitely on the outside, TDECU wins that battle. Rice does not look the best walking up to it. Looks very just old, collegey, while TDECU looks very new and very modern because it is very new and modern. I believe being built in 2014, 2015, around then. But pretty much we found the gate, we all walked up, and this event was held. So pretty much it's like the field and the stadium, the field going that way, the stands going up, pretty much like where I am, overlooking all of it. Man, I take ASL, and you have to sort of describe stuff in ASL. I'm doing a pretty decent job. This event was held in a Hall of Fame room overlooking the whole stadium, and I was very impressed. I was extremely impressed, actually. It was clean, it was nice, it was modern, so it was a beautiful room with a beautiful view of the stadium, and it was packed. This event was very packed. We came a little bit early, or a little bit late, and we barely found a place to sit. There were tons, you'll see it in some of the pictures I post here, tons of circular tables with chairs around it, and we were lucky to find a table with 3 chairs open. So that was huge, alright? Because I went to the season ticket holder events last season, nowhere near as many people as there was tonight, or on that day. It was great to see that many people, that many fans. There were a lot of big fans in there. So we walked in during the Q&A session with Coach Johnson, Coach Curtis Johnson, our head coach, and the Vice President of UFL Football Operations, Daryl Johnson, a.k.a. Moose. It was a good little Q&A session. They went over the rules, some plans for fan engagement, and what our team/offense will look like. Coach Johnson said flat out, we are going to run the football. That's what we've been saying all along if you've been following all my videos. Clearly this team has been built to run the football. And he also said we're not going to be afraid to throw it downfield with either Reed or Nolan, and he even talked about Jared. But it's either going to be Reed Sinnett or Nolan Henderson as our starting quarterback. And he said we're not going to be afraid to throw it down the field once the team is expecting the run. So take that as you will. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people saying they're not looking forward to it. I wouldn't be looking forward to it if we didn't have Mark Thompson, but we have Mark Thompson, and Mark Thompson's name was mentioned multiple times in a very positive way, as it should. The guy's a beast. And then the rules, again, pretty basic. If y'all don't know any of the UFL rules, just go on their Instagram or Twitter real quick. They have them posted there. I'm not a big rules guy. I don't really care. I just like to watch football. So if you're interested in that, you can just go on their Twitter, X, or Instagram account. Find them there, whatever. But it was very good. It was a really good Q&A. They also had fans ask some questions. So talking about a lot about fan engagement and how Daryl Johnson said the goal is to get, how do we create fan engagement in these cities when they all live and practice in Arlington. I'm pretty comfortable that they're going to know what to do with that. I'm not going to comment too much on that. They then proceeded to throw out signed footballs, mini footballs. Look at that, first of all. Really cool. Are you kidding me? A little football? Did I say they were signed? They're throwing them out, and I was able to pick up a signed Daryl Johnson Roughnecks football. I think Daryl threw it. And it bounced off some guy's hand and just landed right in front of me. And I used to play baseball, right? So I just picked that up like a ground ball, and hey, look at it now. I have it right behind me with a Josh Bell signed baseball. So that was really cool. We were then sort of released to do our own thing, either take pictures, go on the field, talk to ticket operators there. Tons of staff there. It was great to see Catherine. It was great to see Brittany. Catherine is the head of marketing for the Roughnecks, and Brittany is the head of media for the Roughnecks. It was great seeing them again. I'm glad they're back. Some new faces in there, new faces. I tried to introduce myself to as many new faces as I could, but there were just so many in there, it was really overwhelming. I got to meet a lot of great people. I met Ace from United Football Media. Great guy. He drove all the way from Waco, so shout out to him. And of course, I met for the first time in person. I've talked to him before on the phone and whatever, but I met for the first time in person the ref. Great guy. We had a great conversation just about spring football. Really, everything spring football we talked about, and it was a great conversation with him, just talking about the USFL, because that's what he covered last season, and I covered the XFL. So it was really a great conversation with the ref, but with both of them. Had a great time. I then proceeded to I was able to get up close to the new UFL football. And I got a great picture and a great video up close of it. I'll put it up right now. Looked great in person. And I saw the XFL ones in person, and this one looks a lot better. I really like this football. I love the big UFL, and I love the XFL and USFL conference on the ball. Really nice addition there. And I got to hold it. It was a lot bigger in my hand than I thought. I made a joke saying I always think I can play quarterback, but I play with junior-sized footballs outside in the yard, not full-blown professional-sized footballs, so it makes you realize just how big these guys' hands are. And I also got to take a picture with the helmet. That was really cool. I love the Roughnecks helmet. Y'all know that, being a big Texas fan. Then I got a picture with Coach Johnson and with Daryl Johnson. Great guys. Called you by your name because you had a name tag. Curtis Johnson, really just overall exciting guy. His energy is off the charts. It's going to be a great coach for the players. I just hope his football side of things can also be as good as his more emotional, mental side of coaching. And then Daryl Johnson, huge guy. I shook hands with him, and his hands are just gigantic. And then I remembered, oh wait, he played in the NFL. No wonder why. So it was great to meet them. It was really cool. Then we went down to the field. I saw my season ticket seat. Rice if you're on the front row in Rice, you're a lot closer to the field than you are at TDECU. At TDECU, you have, if you're on the front row at TDECU, you have a pretty steep drop-off from a wall, and then a lot of space until you actually see the field. So a front row seat at TDECU is still good, but you're still pretty far back. Not the case at Rice at all. At Rice, I looked at my seat, you are field level. You are level with the field. You're essentially standing on the sideline. And I loved that aspect of Rice. It's a lot... I enjoyed it better. I think I'm going to enjoy the view better than I would TDECU, just because you're so much closer to the action. You're so much closer to the guys on the sideline. I'm sitting on the home side. So if you see me, come say hi to me. All right, I'm no stranger to y'all. Y'all are watching me on YouTube. I'd love to meet y'all in person. I'm even working on a new costume. Yeah, I'm working on a new costume. Last season, I sort of did half and half in the stands and half up in the media booth. This year, my goal is to really just spend all the time in the stands. As y'all know, I changed my major. I'm no longer doing broadcast journalism/journalism. So now it's a lot less pressure for me to go up, make connections with guys, and make it seem like a job, because that's what it felt like when I was up in the media booth a lot. It felt like a job, and I wasn't able to be a fan, right? I'm a fan of the Houston Roughnecks, hence the big flag on my wall. So this season, I'm probably going to spend all 5 home games, down in the stands, just having fun being a fan. Back to what we did that day. Then I was able to go on the field with my girlfriend and my friend, and we took pictures. It was sort of good. I reenacted, like pretending I was PJ Walker or Brandon Silvers. That was really fun. But we got some good pictures there. They're playing a Roughnecks video up on the big Jumbotron. The Rice Stadium looks really nice now. I heard some complaints about it earlier, but I believe they switched football conferences, Rice did, and they upgraded their stadium, and I could tell. The stadium is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm not too worried about it being an ugly stadium or whatever. I think it will look nice on TV. The field looked phenomenal, a lot better than I remember it looking in the Spring League in 2021. But overall, I had a great time. Houston, including myself, the city of Houston is looking forward to this Houston Roughnecks season. The turnout was phenomenal. I've just heard nothing but great things about the event from other people. I just can't wait. I cannot wait for this season. I can't wait for training camp to start. As training camp starts, I'll be sharing more news and more analysis on some of the decisions that Coach Johnson makes, aka quarterback decisions, wide receiver cuts. I'm really excited to talk about some of the receivers and playmakers that we have. I just haven't yet because I don't know who's going to make the team, who's going to get cut, whatever. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was real fun to sort of relive that experience. I had a blast that day. Anything Roughnecks related, I'll have a blast in. But folks, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just tell them in the comments down below. I'll try my best to answer them. And besides that, have a great day and go Roughnecks, baby. I'll see you next time.